Men with a father wound. It's important to understand that we get conditioned in life by the experiences that we go through. And we model two very important role models in our life. We don't just model our parents, we model authority figures in our life. They could be teachers, they could be aunties, uncles, could be grandparents. But we certainly take a lot from our parents. And a man with a father wound, in other words, his father hasn't been there for him in some way. Not enough attention, not enough love, or maybe there's unfortunately been abuse or neglect. And when a man experiences that, how that's going to show up later in life consistently is going to be that he lacks a confidence in himself. He feels a gap in himself. And he doesn't know what the masculine state is. So when he attempts to do it, it doesn't show up in the right way. He generally will mix with men who are like himself, who lack confidence, are in their feminine and hence aggressive. So when a man is in his feminine state, he is aggressive. In his masculine state, he's under control of himself. It's about integrity, loyalty, bravery, and honor. But with a father wound, he lacks that. And there's generally a lot of anger. There's suppressed anger at the father figure that has not been there for him, either through abuse, or it could simply be neglect, or maybe his father was just way too busy when he grew up and never really guided his son. And so how does he show up in a relationship with this wound? Well, he can't lead. He doesn't know what to do to make his wife happy. He doesn't know what to do to lead the family. He generally lacks emotional intelligence to be able to determine that because he's not in his masculine state. And there's a lot of suppressed anger as well, generally directed at himself, actually. It might appear that it's at the father, but it's really at himself. And hence often he's depressed. And she's trying to cope with that because she knows that he's got the potential in him to step up and deal with everything that needs to be dealt with. But there is a reluctance in him to do it. Generally, he'll throw himself into production, like working, into his job or his business, and do what he can do there, rather than to be present inside the house, present with her, present and involved with the kids. He takes care of the one thing that he feels he can do well, which is his work. I'm a provider for the family, but not a protector, not a nurturing, complicit king within his kingdom of his family. And so this wound, when it shows up, needs to be healed. How does he heal that? That's what we do outside our relationship code event, so that when he shows up in the relationship, he can show up in the same way. And it's important that men understand how to be able to do this, because it's easy to, one, recognize that he's got this, and maybe as his partner, you recognize that he's got this. But equally, perhaps he's not showing up in the right way, and you know this, and you try and tell him that he's got a father wound, and he's going to be very resistant to that. So how do you approach him? If you want to talk to him about this, talk to him from the point of view that you want to be closer to him. Talk to him from the point of view that you guys have drifted apart and it's time to come back together. And maybe both of you need to look at what things are preventing that. That's a better approach with a man than telling him he's got a problem.